Wow. So they return having wrath upon wrath. That is a heavy line from the Quran, isn't it? It just perfectly sets the stage for this, well, this psychological drama that's thousands of years old, but feels like it could have been written yesterday. It's a story about a huge barrier to accepting truth, one that might be a lot more familiar than we like to admit.
So what we're going to do here is explore one of the most fundamental reasons we, as humans, resist truth. We're going to use this ancient story as a kind of case study. It's really a lesson about where our loyalties truly lie, and what happens when they're completely misplaced.
All right, so our story kicks off with a real puzzle. It's about a people known as Bani Israel, the children of Israel, and by all accounts, these were deeply religious people. They were eagerly, desperately waiting for a messenger from God. But when he finally arrived, they rejected him. And the big question is, why?
And this is what you've got to understand. This is the crucial part. These weren't bad people, not at all. They were considered God's chosen, they were devout monotheists, they gave to charity, they had a strong moral code, they followed their traditions to the letter. They were the last people you would ever expect to reject a divine message. And that is precisely what makes their story so incredibly important for us to understand.
So that's the million-dollar question, right? If it wasn't because they lacked faith or morals, then what on earth was it? What could possibly drive a people so dedicated to God to turn their backs on his own messenger? Well, the answer, as it turns out, is buried deep inside the human heart.
Well, on the surface, the reason was shockingly simple. And honestly, it's something we see all the time. It was pure tribalism. They were absolutely outraged that God would send this great favor, this prophethood, to someone outside their own group. You see, the new prophet was an Arab, not from Beni Israel. And that one single fact triggered a total cascade of internal failures.
Okay, so now let's get to the diagnosis. What was really going on here? The Quran points to the very first disease that took root in their hearts: jealousy. But we're not just talking about feeling a little envious. This is a destructive pathway that can completely corrupt your ability to see things clearly.
It all starts with that feeling of outrage. Why him? Why not one of us? And you see, the moment that happens, your sincerity gets compromised. All of a sudden, the goal isn't about finding the truth anymore. It's about protecting your ego, protecting your tribe. Your identity becomes way more important than what's actually real. And that path leads straight to rejecting truth. It's a pathway of self-destruction. And the jealous person, they're always the first victim.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. Their entire framework for what was real just shifted. Truth was no longer this objective thing you search for. No, it became subjective, filtered through this lens of identity. If the message came from one of us, well, it's good. If it came from an outsider, it was automatically rejected, no matter how true it was.
But wait, there's another layer to this, something a little more subtle, a little more sneaky. We can call it the settled mind trap. This is the danger that comes from being just too comfortable, too secure in what you already think you know.
Now hold on. Having a settled mind isn't automatically a bad thing, right? I mean, it means you have stable values, solid beliefs, a firm sense of who you are. But in this case, that stability became a fortress. Their comfort in their own traditions and their own scholars became this giant wall that just blocked out anything new.
And this is the wild part, the real irony of the whole situation. This new revelation, it actually confirmed what was already in their own books. But they use those very same scriptures as a shield to avoid even looking at it. They just say, oh, we believe in what was revealed to us, and in doing so, they slam the door shut on any more guidance.
Okay, so that's an ancient story. What does it have to do with us, right now, in our modern world? Well, if their problem was a mind that was too settled, our problem today might just be the complete opposite. We've gone from that settled past to a chaotic, unsettled present. Just try to wrap your head around this number. 400. Generations ago, your values came from your family, your village, your community. It was a stable world. Today, it's estimated that the average young person gets hit with up to 400 new and often conflicting ideas every single day. The mind never even gets a chance to settle.
So you see the two extremes here, right? On one side, you've got the settled mind of the past. Its danger was using its stability as a shield. On the other side, you have the unsettled mind of today. Its danger is having no stability at all, no anchor to even know what truth looks like when you see it. One rejects any truth that comes from the outside,
and the other just struggles to commit to any truth whatsoever. Both are really dangerous traps.
So what do we do? What's the way out of this trap, whether you're too settled or not settled at all? Well, the Quran offers a timeless principle, one that just cuts through all the noise and it works for every single generation.
All right, the first part of this lesson is a tough pill to swallow for a lot of us. It's a direct challenge to our comfort zones. Just because you're settled in a belief, it doesn't matter if you're a settled Muslim, a settled Christian, a settled atheist. That comfort, that feeling of being settled, does not make your belief true. Your stability is not the measure of truth.
And that leads to the final, ultimate principle. You know what the standard for truth is? It's truth itself. That's it. It has to be looked at and accepted on its own merits, with total objectivity and sincerity, no matter who's saying it or how it makes you feel.
So you see, in the end, the things that really stop us from seeing clearly, they're not out there, they're in here. They are the diseases of the heart that this ancient story so perfectly lays out. Jealousy, intellectual dishonesty, being more loyal to your culture than to what is actually true, and maybe the biggest one of all, a simple, powerful desire for personal comfort.
And so that leaves all of us with one final, unavoidable question we have to ask ourselves. And we have to be honest. When a new truth shows up, one that really challenges us, that makes us feel uncomfortable, what does our heart do? Is its ultimate loyalty to the truth no matter where that leads? Or is it loyal to our own comfort, our own identity, and our own little settled world?